It is nice to be here to do an oral presentation for the annual meeting of the Poultry Science Association. I'm Julian Melo, the presenting author of this work, which was done in the National University of Lausanne, Argentina, and has as title Uncoated Buffer Sodium Butyrate Addition, Improved Performance and Intestinal Health of Broilers Fed Low Energy Protein Diets. To do an introduction of the topic, I have to say that butyrate can be used as an energy source for intestinal health and can also positively enhance intestinal health proliferation, differentiation, maturation, and could positively alter the intestinal barrier. Butyrate presence in the GIT can lead to a rise in CCK, peptide YY, and GLP-2 levels, and a decrease in pancreatic peptide. Such changes could support intestinal and gastric mucosa development, increase gastric retention time, and stimulate gastric and pancreatic secretions. Therefore, nutrient digestibility and absorption could be improved. Such putative changes in the endocrine regulation could be consistent with improvements in gross performance, intestinal morphology, proteolytic activity, and nutrient digestibility observed in broiler chickens fed butyrate. Let's go to the next slide of introduction. Dietary supplementation with a protected source of butyrate may delay the release of the substance along the GIT, having functional effects on the lower part. Studies have shown that early releasing of products in the small intestine can stimulate biliary development and nutrient digestibility, and later releasing time in the second has an inhibitory effect on gut bacteria. So the objective was to evaluate the effect of an uncoated buffer sodium butyrate supplementation on the performance, jejunum histomorphometry, and the duodenum coliform and lactic acid bacteria population of broilers from 0 to 40 days of age, when dietary energy and amino acids concentrations were reduced. Let's go to the materials and methods. As I said before, the research was conducted in the facilities of the National University using 360 chicks that were randomly loaded into 24 flow pens. The experimental design was a completely random block design with 3 treatments and 8 replications. Formulating 3 periods diets per starter, the first 14 days, then for other 14 days a starter, and at the end a grower. Control diets were formulated using COP recommendations, and using that parameters, we reduce 3% energy and crude protein and digestible amino acids such as glycine, threonine, and methionine plus cysteine. Also, with to this a set of these diets, we formulate other ones, including sodium butyrate. Yeah. And this sodium butyrate was an uncoated buffer sodium butyrate with a concentration of 54%. It was included on top during the whole experiment, 6 grams per ton. So there is chemical protection for the very pungent smell. The measured traits were the body weight, the feed weight, so we can calculate feed intake by pen, Also, mortality was recorded daily. At 14 and 28 days, one Berber pen was randomly selected and euthanized. And the content of the last part of the duodenum was used to examine microbial populations. And the jejunum was taken to do histomorphological examinations. Well, for the statistical analysis, two-way ANOVA was used for parametric data, and for non-parametric data, Kruskal-Wallis test was used. Here is a detail or a short detail for the diets. You can see that the first diet with the energy and approximately 100 calories reduction. So it is about a 3.2 reduction. The same for the other ones. Yeah. Protein from 20.4 for 19.8, so 0.6 reduction in crude protein. It's also about 3% reduction, and the same for lysine and as I said before, threonine and methionine plus cysteine. Let's begin with the results. But first, we can see here the performance results. The first performance results. There were no difference in body weight at any time, but we obtained significant difference in feed intake for the whole experiment, with the best result for the control animals, and also significant difference between the low energy protein diets, obtaining a better results, the birth with sodium butyrate. For feed conversion ratio, we obtained the same results as we obtained in feed consumption. The best result for the control animals, and also a significant difference between the low energy protein diets, obtaining the animals with sodium butyrates, the better results than the unsupplemented ones. For mortality, there were no difference at the end of the experiment, but the first 2 weeks, that there was a significant differences, obtaining the ones with sodium butyrate the best results, the lower mortality. Now going to the results for intestinal health. We can see in these slides the results for 14 days. There were no difference for the villus height, but we obtained significant difference for crib depth, obtaining the births with sodium butyrates and a lower crib, so they show the best result. At 28 days, yeah, also animals with sodium butyrate obtained the better results, yeah, significant difference from villus height and also for crib depth. So let's move to the last result for histomorphometric measures. Here we can see the most important morphological trait. Yeah, of the result for 14 days and also for 28 days. We can see the animals with sodium butyrates show the better ratio. So they have a better intestinal health. For microbial populations, there were not significant difference in colony counts of total coliforms and of lactic acid bacteria at any time. So as conclusions, we can say that dietary supplementation of broilers from 0 to 14 days with an uncoated of buffer sodium butyrate improves the development of the upper part of the GIT, increasing intestinal health of the jejunum and the efficiency of low energy protein diets. Also, we can say that the use of sodium butyrates in broilers fed LIP diets, low energy protein diets, can be considered an important strategy to feed cost savings and excretion reduction. So we encourage nutritionists to use a nutritional matrix to use this sodium butyrate to save costs. We want to thank the Presentacion company of France to help us to do this work. Thank you very much for your attention. Any doubt, any question, you can write me an email.